सफलता के लिए संघर्ष करना हो सकता है आपको कठिन लगता हो, पर जीने के लिए संघर्ष करना और भी मुश्किल है दोस्तों। अगर आप फीलिंग करना चाहते हैं तो सड़क पर चलते लाखों बेरोजगारों को देखिए। सफलता के लिए संघर्ष कर रहे हैं, पर अगर उससे भी अगर बदतर स्थिति देखनी है तो अपने कुछ ऐसे यारों को याद कीजिए, ऐसे आसपास पड़ोस को देखिए जो जीने के लिए संघर्ष कर रहे हैं, और उनसे पूछिए फिर आपको अपनी सफलता कितनी आसान लगेगी। तो बने रहिए इस चैनल में। आपका स्वागत करता हूँ। इसी के साथ शुरू करेंगे, हम लोग बेहतरीन क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे, आगे बढ़ेंगे। ऑल द बेस्ट। तो पहला प्रश्न है, कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज के बारे में पूछा जा रहा है। इट वॉज एडेड टू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन थ्रू द 42nd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंडमेंट in 1976 based on Swarn Singh Committee. Fundamental duties can also help the court to decide the constitutionality of law passed by the legislature. Fundamental duties have not been amended since inception. Which are the correct? You know that fundamental duties, 1 is absolutely right, 2 is also right. So 1 and 2 is the answer. But only and only 2 and 3 is the only answer. Why so? Because this is not on the best of Swarn Singh Committee. Why? I think there is something error, because first is absolutely right. Fundamental duties of the citizens were added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976 upon the recommendation of the Swarn Singh Committee that was constituted by the government earlier that year. Originally 10 in number, the fundamental duties were increased to 11 by the 86th Amendment Act in 2002, which added a duty on every parent or guardian to ensure that their child or ward was provide opportunities for education between the ages of the 6 and 14 years. Supreme Court has ruled that these fundamental duties can also help the court to decide the constitutionality, संवैधानिकता की जांच करना हो तो उस समय भी कोर्ट को ये मदद करता है। ठीक है, अगर कोई भी लॉ पास किया जाए, डिक्री जारी किया जाए, ऑर्डिनेंस जारी किया जाए, क्या ये विद रिस्पेक्ट टू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, इसकी जांच के लिए कभी कभी फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज का भी इस्तेमाल किया जाता है। ओके, तो मेरे ख्याल से सारे के सारे स्टेटमेंट्स में सही दिए गए हैं, इसलिए क्वेश्चन के अनुसार मेरा आंसर ABC है, बिल्कुल सही है। अगला क्वेश्चन है, कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स अबाउट सेंट्रल कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन अथॉरिटी CCPA. CCPA is a regulatory body established in 2020 based on the provisions of the Consumer Protection Act 2019. CCPA lacks suo motu powers to inquiry or investigate into the matters relating to the violation of the consumer rights or unfair trade practices. The composition of CCPA includes a chief commissioner as a head and only 2 other commissioners as a member. So second is absolutely incorrect. C is the right answer. CCPA is a regulatory body established in 2020 based on the provisions of the Consumer Protection Act 2019. CCPA works under the administrative control of the Ministry of Consumer Affairs. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, उपभोक्ता मंत्रालय के तहत आता है ये। ठीक है, Objective of the Central Consumer Protection Authority CCPA is to promote, protect, enforce the rights of the consumer as a class. Rights as a consumer as a class. Powers, the CCPA. CCPA will have the powers to inquiry or investigate into the matters relating to violation of consumer rights, unfair trade practices, suo motu, or on a complaint received or on a direction from the central government. Central Consumer Protection Authorities shall have shall consist of following members appointed by central government: chief commissioner, two commissioners, one commissioner each will represent for goods and services. CCPA penalized Flipkart for selling substandard pressure cookers to consumers. Consider the following statements. Jhalkari Bai is the member of Naujawan Bharat Sabha, helped Bhagat Singh escape in disguise from Lahore after the killing of British police officer John P. Saunders. Durgavati Devi was a soldier in Rani Lakshmibai Women Army. Durga Dal. Durga Dal, Durga Devi, she rose to become one of the Queen's most trusted advisor. Velu Villu Nechiar produced the first woman bomb and established the first army of trained women soldiers in late 17s, which are the correct. I think Jhalkai Bai. You have heard about Jhalkai Bai? Is it any relationship with Bhagat Singh? Something something? Durga Devi, Durga Bai. I think out of one should be only and only three is the right answer because one and two is absolutely incorrect. Let's see. Jhalkari Bai, that is a soldier in Rani Lakshmi Bai, Women's Army. Durga Dal, she rose to become one of the Queen's most trusted advisor. She is known for putting her own life at a risk to keep the Queens out of harms. She is often presented as a representative of Bundeli identity. According to the Ministry of Culture, Amrit Mahotsav website, many Dalit communities of region look up to her as an incarnation of God. They also celebrate Jhalkari Bai Jayanti every year in her honor. Durga Bai Bhavi, Durga Bhavi. Durgavati Devi, who was popularly known as Durga Bhavi, was a revolutionary who joined the armed struggle against the colonial rule. She was married to Hindustan Socialist Republican Association HSRA member Bhagwati Charan Bohra. As a member of the Naujawan Bharat Sabha, she helped Bhagat Singh escape in disguise from the Lahore after 1928 killing of British police officer John P. Saunders. Naujawan Bharat Sabha was founded by Bhagat Singh in 1926 to foment a revolution against the British Raj. It was a left-wing Indian association formed to gather work and peasant youths by disseminating Marxist idea. Later, as a revenge for the hanging of Bhagat Singh, Rajguru and Sukhdev, she made an unsuccessful attempt to kill the former Punjab governor Lord Haley. Along with other revolutionaries, she also ran a bomb factory in Delhi. Velu Nachiar. Many years before the revolt of 1857, Velu Nachiar waged a war against the British and emerged victorious. Born in Ramnathpuram in 1780, she was married to the king of Shivangani. After her husband After her husband was killed in the battle with the East Indian Company, entered the conflict. and born with the support of neighboring kings. She went on to produce the first woman bomb as well as establish the first army of trained women soldiers in late 70s. These freedom fighters were mentioned in Prime Minister Independence Day speech. Consider the following statements about Palan 1000. It is an app launched under the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission for parenting and early childhood development. The program is aligned with the mission of the Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Karyakram RBSK. Which are the correct? I think B is the right answer. Union Ministry of State for Health launched Palan 1000 national campaign and parenting app. Palan 1000 focuses on the cognitive development of children in the first 2 years of a child. I mean, their life. The app will provide practical advice to caregivers on what they can do in their everyday routine and will help clear doubts. The app combines coaching for parents, families, and other caregivers with the service designed to meet the family's basic needs. The program is aligned with the mission of Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Karyakram, emphasizing responsive care and focused intervening during the first 1,000 days. Consider the following statements. Jalaj is a tourism related portal to promote livelihood opportunities along the Ganga basin by promoting Earth Ganga initiative was launched recently. In Avatar, a portal is visualized as a model for livelihood diversification through the promotional of local produce and facilities stockholders participation. Select the correct answer. I think D. Jalaj. Yeah, Jalaj. Innovative mobile livelihood center are aimed at aligning the skill enhancement activities with Ganga conservation. Jalaj is visualized as a model for livelihood diversification through promotion of local produce and facilities, stockholders' participation in ecological and economic sphere for river conservation in line with Earth Ganga objectives. The tourism related portal I am Avatar to promote livelihood opportunity along the Ganga basin by promoting Earth Ganga initiative through the tourism marketing of local products, both agriculture as well as handicaps and handicrafts, sustainability of ghats and other assets created by NMCG was also launched on the occasions. NMCG hosted Yamuna पर आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव in Delhi. Rosni seen in news related to Rosni is the leadership. No, this is a saline water led lantern. What is this? India's first saline water lantern, which used seawater to power lead lamps, according to the Ministry of Earth and Science. The first of its kind lantern, named Rosni, was unveiled by the minister during a visit to the Sagar on Sikha. The coastal research vessel operated and used by National Institute of Ocean Technology, Chennai for the coastal research. India's first saline water pump was unveiled recently. Consider the following statement about Nidan portal. It is a database of arrested narcotics offenders developed by a Narcotics Control Bureau under the aegis of Ministry of Home Affairs. Nidan platform sources its data from the Crime and Criminal Tracking Network System and e-prison repository. Choose the incorrect statements. I think B is incorrect because a first of its kinds database of arrested narcotic offenders has been made operational for use by various central and state prosecution agencies tasked to enforce anti-drug law in country, officials said. The portal NIDAN, or National Integrated Database on Arrested Narco Offenders, has been developed by the Narcotics Control Bureau (NCB). It is the part of the Narcotic Coordination Mechanism (NCODE) portal that was launched by Union Home Minister during the National Conference on Drug Trafficking and National Security. Nidan platform sources its data from the ICJ's interoperable criminal justice system and e-prison, a cloud-based application repository, and its plan to integrate in its future with the Crime and Criminal Tracking Network System or CCTNS. The ICJS, an initiative of the Supreme Court E Committee, was created to enable seamless transfer of data and information among different pillars of the criminal justice system like courts, police, jails, forensic science laboratories from one platform. Consider the following statement about Combined Maritime Forces (CMF). CMF is a multinational naval partnership to promote security and stability in international waters. The grouping is commanded by US Navy Vice Admiral. Recently, India joined the grouping as a full-time member. Choose the correct. I think 1 and 2 is the right answer. Combined Maritime Forces (CMF) is a multinational maritime partnership. The Combined Maritime Forces is a multinational maritime partnership which exists to uphold the rule-based international order by countering illicit non-state actors on high seas and promoting security, stability, prosperity across approximately 3.2 million square miles of the international waters, which encompasses some of the world's most important shipping lanes. CMF is commanded by US Navy Vice Admiral, who also serves as a commander US Naval Forces Central Command and US Navy Fifth Fleet. All four commands are co-located at US Naval Support Activity Bahrain. CMF has 34 members nations: Australia, Bahrain, many more. Indian Navy has formally commenced its operation with the Bahrain-based multilateral partnership Combined Maritime Forces as an associated member. This comes months after India had announced its intention to join the grouping in furtherance of its regional security goals. India's political and military leadership is seeing this as a demonstration of Indian commitment towards the collective responsibility of ensuring security in the shared commons. Consider the following statement about Biosentinel spacecraft. It is the sole biological experiment to fly on the Space Launch System rocket for the Artemis and Artemis first mission. Primary objective of Biosentinel is to develop a biosensor instrument to detect and measure the impact of the space radiation. It is measured as the space radiation on all living organisms over long duration beyond the low Earth orbit. Leo, choose the incorrect statement. Hmm. None is incorrect. Biosentinel mission was selected as one of the secondary payloads and sole biological experiment to fly on the first launch of the Space Launch System rocket for the Artemis first mission. The primary objective of the Biosentinel is to develop a biosensor instrument to detect and measure the impact of the space radiation. Biosentinel biosensor utilizes the budding yeast Saccharomyces cerevisiae to query the biological response to ambient deep space radiation, including DNA damage like information of double stranded breaks. DSBs are deleterious DNA lesions that are generated by exposure to highly energetic particles in the deep space radiation spectrum and that are often repaired without errors by the cell. Biosensors contain two genetically engineered yeast strains. They are a wild type strain that serve as a control for the yeast health and normal DNA damage repair, and a radiation 51 deletion strain which is a defective for DNA damage repair. It measures the space radiation on all the living organisms over a long duration beyond the low Earth orbit. LEO. NASA Artemis first to launch the Biosentinel, a first of its kind deep space biology mission. Know all about it. NASA Artemis first to launch Biosentinel, a first of its kind deep space mission biology. Consider the following statement about Central Adoption Resources Authority (CARA). CARA is a statutory body and mandated to monitor and regulate in country as well as in the inter-country adoption. CARA does not allow individuals in a live-in relation to adopt children from and within India. Which are the correct? I think first is correct. CARA is an autonomous and statutory body under the Ministry of Women and Child Development in the Government of India. It was set up in 1990. 1990. It is a statutory body under the Juvenile Justice Act 2015. It functions as a nodal body for the adoption of Indian children and is mandated to monitor and regulate in the country and inter-country adoption. CARA is designated as a central authority to deal with inter-country adoption in accordance with the provisions of 1993 Hague Convention on Inter-Country Adoption, ratified by the Government of India 2003. CARA primarily deals with the adoption of the orphaned, abandoned, and surrendered children through recognized adoption agency. In 2008, CARA has allowed individuals in a live-in relations to adopt children from and within India. Parliamentary panels moots district level survey to bring more children into adoption. Namaste scheme seen in news recently is related to sanitation workers. Namaste is a central sector scheme of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment as a joint initiative of MOSJE and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Mahua. Namaste envisages safety and dignity of sanitation workers in urban India by creating an enabling ecosystem that recognizes sanitation workers as one of the key contributors in operation and maintenance of sanitation infrastructure, thereby providing sustainable livelihood and enhancing their occupational safety through capacity building and improved access to safety gear and machines. Consider the following statement about Great Indian Bustard. It is a critically it is a classified as a critically endangered by IUCN. It has been identified as one of the species for the recovery program under the Integrated Development of Wild Habitats of Ministry of Environment. The area that they are found only in the state of Gujarat and Rajasthan in India. No, ऐसा तो नहीं है. इसलिए 1 and 2 is right. Listed in the Schedule 1 of the Indian Wildlife Protection Act 1972, in the CMS Convention, and in the Appendix 1 of the sites as a critically endangered on the IUCN Red List and National Wildlife Protection Act 2002-16. It has also been identified as one of the species recovery program development by the Habitats of the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Historically, the Great Indian Bustard was distributed throughout the Western India, spanning 11 states as well as a part of Pakistan. Its stronghold was once the Thar Desert in the northwest and Deccan Plateau of the peninsula. Today, its population is confined mostly to Rajasthan and Gujarat. Small population occur in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. Bustards generally favor flat, open landscape with minimal visual obstruction and disturbance, therefore adapt well in grasslands. Global Strategy on Human Resources for Health Workforce 2030 is based on which of the following declaration? I think say Receive Political Declaration Global Strategy on Human Resources for Health Workforce 2030, in the line with the World Health Organization's Global Strategy on Human Resources for Health Workforce 2030, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare issued drafts guidelines to improve the working condition of all categories of nurses in the all health care institution across India in May 2014. 67th World Health Assembly adopted this resolution as a follow-up of the Receive Political Declaration on the Human Resources for Health. Member states requested the Director General of World Health Organization to develop and submit a new global strategy for human resources for health for consideration by the 69th World Health Assembly. The Global Strategy on Human Resources for Health Workforce 2030 is primarily aimed at planners and policymakers of member states. However, it contains are a value of the all relevant stakeholders In the health force area, this includes the public and the private sector employers, professional association, education and training institution, labor unions, bilateral and multilateral development partners, internal organizations, civil society. Government issue draft guidelines to improve working conditions of nurses. Consider the following statement about sovereign gold bond scheme. These are issued by the RBI on behalf of the government of India. Bonds are sold only through National Stock Exchange of India Limited and Bombay Stock Exchange. Bonds can be used as a collateral for loans, which are incorrect. I think two should be incorrect. Government of India in the consultation with the RBI has decided to issue sovereign gold bonds in tranches for 2022-2023. Gold bonds are issued as a Government of India stock under the Government Securities Act 2006. These are issued by the Reserve Bank of India (RBI) on the behalf of the Government of India. Bonds are sold through Commercial Banks Stock Holding Corporation of India Limited (SHCIL), designated post offices and recognized stock exchange, National Stock Exchange of India Limited and Bombay Stock Exchange, either directly or through the agents. Bonds can be used as a collateral for loans. The capital gain tax arising on the recommendation of SGB to an individuals has been exempted. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme 2022-2023 was in news. Consider the following statement. Alternate Investment Fund AIF. It is a fund of funds that invest in the asset classes which includes bonds, stock, cash. Alternative Alternative investment funds are regulated together by the RBI and Securities Exchange Board of India (SEBI). No, I think only and only B is the right answer because both are incorrect. It is a fund of funds that invest in asset classes other than bonds, stocks, and cash. AIF consists of investments funds that are privately pooled, that they invest in private equity, venture capital, hedge funds, managed funds. AIF means an investment that differs from the conventional investments such as a debt securities, stocks. It is an investment option for high rollers, including domestic and foreign investors in India. The Securities and Exchange Board of India (SEBI) regulates the alternative investment funds in India. AIF are defined in the Securities and Exchange Board of India Regulation 2012. RBI doesn't have any role in it. SEBI tightens overseas norms for alternative investment and venture funds. Consider the following statement with respect to Har Ghar Jal Utsav. Goa and Chandigarh become the first state and union territory to be Har Ghar Jal certified. Har Ghar Jal certified. Har Ghar Jal Utsav is being under the Jal Jeevan Mission. I think both nahi, only two. Goa has become the first Har Ghar Jal certified state, and Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu become the first UT in the country to be Har Ghar Jal certified. In this state and UT, People from all the villages have declared their village as Gaj, as Har Ghar Jal through a resolution passed by a Gram Sabha. All the 2,63,000 rulers household of Goa and Dadar Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu have access to safe drinking water through the tap connection. Har Ghar Jal Utsav is being held under the Jal Jeevan Mission. This flagship mission aims of providing portable tap water supply to every rural household by 2024. Consider the following statement about Armed Forces Tribunal (AFT). Tribunal is composed of judicial members and administrative members. Tribunals is empowered to adjudicate appeals against any sentence passed by a court martial. An appeal against the AFT orders lie only before the Supreme Court, which are the correct, I think, 1 and 2. Armed Forces Tribunal was established in August 2009 by the Armed Forces Tribunal Act 2007. It is a military tribunal with the powers of adjudication or trial of disputes and complaints related to commission, appointments, enrollments, and condition of service. Beside the principal bench in New Delhi, AFT has 10 regional benches. Composition: the tribunal is composed of judicial members as well as administrative members. The judicial members are retired High Court judges. Administrative members are retired members of the armed forces who have held rank of the Major General equivalent or above the period of 3 years or more. Power jurisdiction: tribunal is empowered to adjudicate appeals against any order, decision, finding on or sentence passed by the court martial or any related matter. It is also empowered to grant bail to an accused who is in military custody. Tribunal may have the powers to substitute for the findings of the court martial. It may remit the whole or any part of the sentence with or without condition, mitigate the punishment awarded, commute such punishment to any lesser punishment, or enhance the sentence awarded by a court martial. Jurisdiction of other courts. In March 2022, Delhi court held the Armed Forces Tribunal Act 2007 excludes the administrative supervisions of High Court under the Article 227 of the Constitution. However, it does not exclude the judicial superintendence and jurisdiction under the Article 226. The Supreme Court made it clear that verdicts of the Armed Forces Tribunal (AFT) can be challenged before the High Courts. In 2015, a Supreme Court bench had held that AFT verdicts could not be challenged before the High Courts. It had also said that the appeal against the AFT orders would lie before the apex court, but only if a point of law of general public importance is involved. Which of the following given pairs is correctly matched? GI product या state. अर्ना अर्ना मूला मिरर, मिथिला मखाना, Bihar, Johar rice, Assam, Bidri, Bidri ware, Andhra Pradesh. Two is absolutely correct. One, two, three is the right answer. Arna Mola Kaliga Kanadi, meaning the Arna Mula mirror is handmade metal alloy mirror made in Arna Mula. These unique metal mirrors are the result of Kerala's rich cultural and metallurgical traditions. They have a great historical and cultural values and are thought to be good luck. The mirrors received a geographical indication in 2004-5. The government has awarded geographical identification to Mithila Makhanat of Bihar, a move which is expected to help growers get maximum price for their premium produce. Mithila Makhana registered with GI tag farmers will get profit and it will be easier to earn. Joha is a variety rice grown in India, notable its aroma and delicate and excellent taste. Assam is the largest cultivator. It is primarily grown through the paddy field farming. In Garo Hills, it's widely cultivated and it is known as Joha rice or locally known as Mismi Jaha. Joha rice is grown in Sali Kharif season. Major Joha varieties included in these are Kula Joha, Ketkai Joha, Bokul Joha, Kunkuni Joha. It received GI tag in 2017. Bidri ware derives its name from Bidar, Karnataka. 500 years old art in Persian in origin, but Bidri ware is the purely Indian innovation. This art of engraving and laying is handled down by generation and is exclusive to Vidar. Government awarded GI to Mithila Makhana. Consider the following statement about pre and polyfluorinated substance PFAS. They are used to make fluoropolymer coating, can resist heat, oil, stains, grease, and water. These substances break down easily in the environment and are alternative to the conventional coating materials. Which are the incorrect? B is incorrect. You know, per and polyfluorinated substance PFAS. They are hazardous man-made chemicals that spread globally in the atmosphere. They are used to make fluoropolymer coating that can resist heat, oil stains, grease, and water products, and they use PFAS including clothing, furniture, adhesives, food packaging, non-stick cooking surface, electrical wire insulation. Many PFAS, including perfluorocarbonate, sulfonic acids, and perfluorooctanic acid, area are a concern because they don't break down in the environment, can move through the soils and contaminate drinking water sources, build up in species and wildlife. A recent study published in Environment, Science and Technology has found that rainwater from any places across the globe is contaminated with per and polyfluoroalkyl substance, which are called forever chemicals because of their tendency to stick around the atmosphere, rainwater, and soil for a long periods of time. Consider the following statements regarding biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction. BBNJ Treaty. It is an instrument being developed under the framework of 1982 United Nations Convention of Law of Sea. Even close. BBNJ are areas comprise around 99% of the total ocean surface. Select the correct answer. Only A is the right answer. BBNJ Treaty, also known as Treaty of the High Seas, is an international agreement on the conservation and sustainable use of marine biological diversity in area beyond national jurisdiction, currently under the negotiation at the United Nations. This new instrument is being developed within the framework of the UN clause, the main intergovernmental international agreement governing human activities at sea. Areas beyond the national jurisdiction. BBNJ comprises 95% of ocean and provide invaluable ecological, economic, social, cultural, scientific, and food security benefits to the humanity. These are the hardly regulated and also least understood or explored for its biodiversity. Only 1% of these areas are under protection. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है ओस डेरी B1C. क्या है ये? OSDREBI1C. It's a gene present in rice. OSDREBI1C is present not just in rice but wheat and other grasses, but also in broadleaf plants. The gene known as OSDREB1C encodes protein that controls other genes involved in photosynthesis and nitrogen use. Tweaks to genetically modified GM rice improve photosynthesis, speed up flowering, and help the plant to absorb nitrogen more efficiently. Supercharged biotech rich yielded 40% of more grain. Consider the following statement related to Graded Response Action Plan (GRAP). CPCB, Central Pollution Control Body, is mandated to enforce the GRAP in the city as per the pollution levels. GRAP is applicable only to Delhi National Capital Region area. Not only B is the right answer. Graded Response Action Plan (GRAP) was prepared by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change after the order of Supreme Court December 2016. EPCA is mandated to enforce the Graded Response Action Plan in the city as per the pollution levels. GRAP, any GRAP, includes measures which will be taken by different governments agency to prevent worsening of air quality, Delhi NCR, and prevent PM10 and PM2 levels to go beyond moderate National Air Quality Index category. NCR areas includes regions of the Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. With increasing air pollution levels in the NCR area, the grave measures become important. Al-Shabaab, a militant group seen in news, is based in Sydney, Somalia. Harkat al-Shabaab, al-Mujahideen, more commonly known as Al-Shabaab, is a Somalia-based Islamic insurgency group active in East Asia, Africa. The militant group carried out an attack in the Somalia. Consider the following statement with respect to Gramin Udyami project. It is a unique multi-skilling project funded by National Skill Development Corporation. The project aims to train 1 lakh tribal students in rural India. It is implemented under the Sansadiya Parisankul Yojana. Which are the correct? I think 1 and 3. The augment skill training in tribal communities for their inclusive and sustainable growth. The National Skill Development Corporation (NSDC) is a partnership with the Seva Bharati Yuva Vikas Society launched the second phase of Gramin Udyami project under the initiative. The endeavor is to multi-skill India's youth and impart functional skills to them for enabling livelihoods. Gramin Udyami is a unique multi-skilling project funded by NSDC that aims to train 450 tribal students in MP and Jharkhand. The project is being implemented in 6 states: Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, MP and Jharkhand and Gujarat. Gramin Udyami Yojana is implemented under Sansadiya Parisankul Yojana. Gramin Udyami project launched in Ranchi to promote skill development and entrepreneurship among the tribal youth, give boost to the Skill and India mission. With reference to the National Automated Fingerprint Identification System, consider the following. It is assigned a unique national fingerprint number to each person arrested for a crime. It is developed by the National Informatics Center in association with Crime and Criminal Tracking Network and System (CCTNS). Maharashtra became the first state in country to identify a deceased person through the NAFIS. Choose the correct answer using coding given below. A is the right answer. NAFIS assign a unique 10-digit national fingerprinting number to each person arrested for a crime. This unique ID will be used for the person's lifetime, and different crime registered under the different FIR will be linked to the same NFN. By automating the collection, storage, matching of fingerprints, along with digitizing the records of fingerprint data, NAFIS will provide the much needed unique identifier for every arrested person in CCTNS. tracking networks and systems database as both are connected at the backend. NFIS was developed by the National Crime Record Bureau (NCRB) would help in the quick and easy disposal of cases with the help of centralized fingerprint database. In April this year, MP Madhya Pradesh became the first state in country to identify a diseased person through the NAFIS. Consider the following statement with respect to mandala art. The art form is associated with tantric and neo-tantric spiritual movements. In Hinduism, the mandala is the shape of circle with a square at its center, which are incorrect about mandala art. I think nothing, only two. While it continues to appear in the Thanga painting, it has a central place in the practice of mainstream artists associated with the tantric and neo-tantric spiritual movements. In 1960s, Sohan Kadri and Prafulla Mohanty gained widespread recognition for their works that were embedded with tantric symbolism, such as mandalas that are also used in the ritual of tantric initiation. In Hinduism, the mandala is in shape of a square with a circle at the center. Residents of Liverpool are marveling over a mandala the size of 1.5 football pitches in length created by the artist James Brunt with materials such as leaves and rocks. Consider the following statement about VLSRSAM system. VLSRSAM system has been indigenously designed and developed by DRDO. It's a long-range surface-to-air missile. VLSRASAM is a containerized system, thus making its transport and storage easier, which are the correct, which are the incorrect. केवल दो ही incorrect है because VLSRAMS system has been indigenously designed and developed by DRDO. Designed and developed jointly by three facilities of the Defence Research and Development Organization for the deployment of the Indian naval warships. Vertical Launch Short Range Surface to Air Missile VLSRASAM was successfully flight tested by Defence Research Development Organization DRDO and the Indian Navy on the Indian naval ships at Integrated Test Range Chandipur off the coast of Odisha. Kursi foam wings. They are four small wings arranged like a cross on four sides and give the projective stable thermo aerodynamics posture. Thrust vectoring. It is the ability to change the direction of the thrust from its engine, control and angular velocity and altitude of missile. Thrust is the force which moves an aircraft through the air. canisterized system. The inside environment is controlled, thus making it transport and storage easier and improving the shelf life of weapons. DRDO and Indian Navy successfully flight test vertical launch short range surface to air missile off Odisha coast. Consider the following statement about bisphenol BPA. It is a colorless solid which is soluble in organic solvent but poorly soluble in water. It is used in the process of manufacturing polycarbonates, plastics, and epoxy resins as a plasticizer. BPA is known as endocrine disruptor. Which are the correct? All are correct. Bisphenol is a chemical compound primarily used in the manufacturing of various plastics. It is a colorless solid which is soluble in most common organic solvent but has very poor solubility in water. BPA's largest single application is co-monomer in the production of polycarbonates, which accounts for 65 to 70% of all BPA production. The manufacturing of epoxy resins and vinyl ester resins account for 25 to 30% of BPA use. BPA can also be found in breast milk. BPA is known as endocrine disruptor. Generally, BPA acts on hormonal level of distorting hormonal balance and inducing estrogenic effects through the binding with estrogen-related repose receptors. The resultant effects are numerous, of which hormone-related abnormalities have been mostly reported. Union Ministry of Dr. Jitendra Singh unveils India's first truly indigenously developed hydrogen fuel cell bus developed by KPIIT CSIR in Pune. Kazakhstan is bound on the south by the Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, while Aral Sea in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, Lake Balkans is completely located in Kazakhstan. Choose the correct statement. Only two. It is bound by the northwest and north by Russia, east में चाइना, साउथ में किर्गिस्तान, उज्बेकिस्तान, Aral Sea and Turkmenistan, and Caspian Sea bounds the Kazakhstan to the southwest. Raksha Mantri held a bilateral meetings with his Uzbek, Kazakh, Belarusian counterparts on the first day of his visit to Tashkent. Pandurange Khagoje, a prominent freedom fighter, was associated with Anushilhan Samiti, no, it's a Gadar party. Pandurang Khangoje was one of the founding members of Gadar party, established by the Indians living abroad in 1914, mostly belonging to Punjab. Its aim was to lead a revolutionary fight against the British in India. The Mexican Revolution of 1910 had led to overthrow of the dictatorial regime, and this inspired Khangoje. Pandurang Khangoje had a close connection with Mexico, the country in which he sought refuge due to his association with the radical pro-Indian independence Gadar party. संसार में ऐसी कोई भी समस्या नहीं है जो आपके मन की शक्ति से अधिक शक्तिशाली हो। तो आपके मन जो है इतना शक्तिशाली है ना कि मन को बताइए, उल्लू बनाइए उसको, बताइए कि मैं खुश हूँ, आनंदित हूँ, प्रसन्न हूँ, तेज हूँ, चालाक हूँ, अपने कामों को बेहतरीन ढंग से करता हूँ। अगर आप करने की कोशिश भी करते हैं तो आपका दिमाग डोपामाइन रिलीज करेगा, वो डोपामाइन जो आपको प्रोत्साहित करेगा, तो हेल्प करेगा आपको आगे बढ़ने में। तो कर बने रहिएगा, खेलिएगा, कूदिएगा, आगे बढ़िएगा। ऑल द बेस्ट।